So here we are with the Emporia Elegance, and we're going to take a tour around the handset, and we'll start by turning the handset on with the power button, which we'll just hold for about 3 seconds. Here we go. So the handset's just powering up. So the first thing to note obviously is just the layout of the phone. This is slightly different to many mobiles in that we have buttons on the sides as well as on the front of the phone. That's going to make life much more simple, as you'll see. The actual layout of the phone, we've got the loudspeaker at the top here, there's a microphone at the bottom. We have our on-off button, and we have a button here, an action button. You'll notice that this is green, this is red. Red is stop, green is go. So when we go through things like the menus, that becomes a way of going through the menu, accepting a decision or coming back out to the home screen just by tapping the red button. The up and down buttons give us our directions through the menus. We also have obviously the numeric keypad, and you'll notice that each keypad has not only the numbers but the letters. We have 3 letters per key. That's going to be useful for when we are sending or answering or replying to text messages, or SMSs as they're also known. Now at the bottom of the phone we have a series of other interesting keys here. We have the star key. Now if you were to depress and hold that key, it'll bring up the last 10 dialed numbers on the screen, so if you want to quickly get back to a number for somebody you've called, that's a shortcut you can use. Also, if you depress this key twice, you'll get the little plus sign come up, and that allows you to make international calls. So for example, if you're calling the UK, it's +44, so you'd hold that down twice to get the plus sign, then 44 and the number as normal. Here on the other side we have what we call the pound key, or the hash key. You might use that, for example, if you were phoning an automated line like your bills, for example, and they'll say press the hash key and your number. That's the hash key that they're talking about. With the Elegance, what you can also do is by pressing and holding this key, is you'll actually bring up a list of missed calls, which is also very helpful if you want to find out who's been in touch with you. And just here in the centre we have the 0 numeric key. You'll also notice 2 odd little signs there. The first one is a space, so when you're writing text messages you just click this button, that gives you a space between the words. And this little symbol here, well, that indicates there's a recording, and this is for your voicemail. So if you want to recover your voicemails, you can press and hold this key, and that'll take you through to your operator's voicemail server. So let's have a look at these side buttons, which do differentiate the Emporia phones. Here in the centre we have our volume, so depressing the minus takes the volume down, or the positive here takes the volume up, as you'd expect. Elegance of course comes with a very loud loudspeaker, so that you can hear calls nice and clearly. Now above the volume controls we have a little loudspeaker symbol, and this is for the hands-free, so when you receive a call you can just press that button and that will put the voice out of the loudspeaker here. So very handy if you want to share your call with somebody else, or you want to just have a conversation with the phone sat on the desk in front of you rather than being at your ear for too long. And below this we have the key lock. It's a simple slider key. You'll see green and red, just indicating that the keypad is locked. So if we bring the lock down, you'll see that on the screen we have the lock symbol, and if I just drop that, the phone is now available and we can dial a number to our heart's content here. Keypad is locked, keypad is unlocked. Now turning over and having a look at the other side, we have another selection of useful function buttons. Here on the silver band we have our access to our menu button, so if we press this button here, you'll see immediately that we're into the menu options, which we can then scroll through, and if we want to come out of that we just hit the back button, the red button. Above that you'll see there is what looks like a little envelope which is your messaging options, which allows us to access the messaging menu. And we'll just come out of that. Now, below that, we'll see we have a little alarm clock symbol, much like the slider button on the other side of the phone. If you slide this, this will activate the alarm clock. Very simple to do. You just go up and down to select the time you want the alarm to go off. Next, set the time and save it. The alarm clock is activated. If you are, however, to come and decide that you don't want the alarm to go off, just click that button back up and that'll turn the alarm clock off, so you won't get woken up too early an hour. The final function button is the small torch here. Now, the Elegance has a very bright LED torch, but also when the phone rings, that will flash as well as a visual cue, just to let you know there's a call coming in. So if you've got the phone accidentally turned down low on the ringer volume, or it's over the far side of the room and your hearing's not quite as good as it should be, that just gives you a little indication. Most people use it to find the door lock when they get home overnight. So that's a very brief tour of the buttons on your Emporia Elegance.